They're magnificent. We're at the top of Pat Hurley Park. It's changed a lot. This used to just be a dirt hill. My grandma used to live right at the bottom of the hill. And this area, there used to be a lot of drugs, gangs. I got jumped into a gang as a little kid right at the bottom of the hill. But throughout the semester, we've been reading short stories and literary works with the analytical lens of American identity. And the author that stood out to me is Rudolfo Anaya, because his works remind me of this place. His work remind me of home. He's known as the Godfather of Chicano literature. Now, I've been very fortunate to do a lot of traveling, and what I've noticed is that the New Mexico people and the culture here is truly unique. It's like no other. Professor Lawrence recommended that I read Rudolfo Anaya's Albuquerque, and I loved it. I really connected to it. The culture, the setting, it really made me want to delve deeper into his work. For my final project, I would like to analyze Anaya's work and how he's captured the soul of a people. I want to look at more of his books and short stories, as well as interviews. I found some interviews where he's actually talking about his work firsthand, and I think it's going to be very interesting to analyze that. Now, using his narratives, Anaya is telling the story of New Mexico in the context of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Now, these are grandpas, our uncles, our moms, our dads, these people that he's talking about in the context. This is our familia. And what he does with his art, what he does with his writings, is what I want to do with my art. Mine will be in the context of the 80s, 90s, 2000s. My thesis is this: Rudolfo Anaya's literary work is important to New Mexico because it documents the American identity of a people and a culture. Now, I've lived out of state and I've witnessed areas fall victim to gentrification. And I've saw places lose their culture, their soul. And the pandemic is speeding up the rate that people are moving to New Mexico. And with these transplants comes change. Now, I'm not saying that change is bad. I love change. However, we must hold on to our culture. We must document it. Because what happens if these stories aren't told? We lose our fucking identity. Now, writers, musicians, artists from New Mexico, we need to continue to tell our story. We need to use that same art form that Anaya did to keep our culture and soul alive. We have to hold on to our culture, hold on to our soul, hold on to our corazón.